What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 2 of Bullony Basketball. I'm here with my co-host, Johnny. What's up, Johnny?
What's going on, Garrett? Great to be back. This Tuesday morning, I woke up and I felt like a 5-year-old on Christmas. The NBA is back, and I could not be more excited.
Yeah, the season is on the move. It's not so much Bullony Basketball today, because we actually have a Pacers fan, Pace 2K on YouTube. What's going on, Pace?
Yeah, what's up, guys? You can go ahead and find me on at Pace2K00 on Twitter. And let's get it.
All right, let's get right into it. First, we're just gonna kind of talk about like some of the big games or like whatever we saw from the games the first few days. Let's start off with the big one, Lakers Clippers. What did you guys think of that?
I thought the atmosphere in the building was crazy. It felt like a playoff game. I know LeBron kind of downplayed the whole rivalry thing, but to me, it's clearly a rivalry. Two teams that play in the same building, same city, 4 of the top 12 NBA players, 2 on each team. I just hope they match up in the playoffs. It's going to be great.
Yeah, man, and Kawhi is just, he was hitting everything from mid-range, and the Clippers are really deep with Lou Williams. Pat Bev is just a dog on defense, so, yeah, they got a really nice team.
Yeah, they literally looked insane. They already have like that chemistry intact too, because it's like Kawhi's the only piece they really added. Moving on to like some of the other big games, I guess we could talk about the Nets Timberwolves with Kyrie had like 50 points. That was pretty insane in a debut game, first game on the team. What did you guys think of that?
Yeah, I thought that was a crazy game for sure. Bigger thing to me that stood out was just the no turnovers from Kyrie. To handle the ball that much, have the ball in his hands that often, to not turn it over, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty insane. Moving on, let's talk about, real quickly, the Celtics-Sixers. What do you guys think with, like, Al Horford and Kemba Walker both made their debuts for their respective teams?
Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, yeah, I think Al Horford was really nice, I just think the Sixers in general have a lot better of a team. Josh Richardson, I would expect him to probably be their closer now, either him or Tobias Harris. So, yeah, I just think they did really nice. And then Kemba Walker, he definitely didn't have a really good debut, but, we just also can't overreact because it's only the first game, so, yeah.
Yep, revenge narrative is back. First game back. First game against the Celtics for Al Horford, but I agree with Pace. Just no overreactions yet. Kemba had a bad game. Let it go. We'll see what he does next game.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll figure it out. Because, people give Brad Stevens a lot of slack, but, in the end of the day, he's still not a bad coach. There were a lot of other important things that happened. The Pistons, Drummond, Kennard, D. Rose all went off. Luka and Porzingis, they played their first game together. And then, Donovan Mitchell played good, and we got to see CP3's debut with the Thunder. Overall, there was really a lot of crazy stuff in the first few days.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't forget Siakam either.
Yeah, Siakam's stat line was crazy. Drummond had a huge stat line.
Siakam and Van Vliet.
Yep, with the Jazz, Conley, 1 for 16 from the field, so not a great start for him. Kings couldn't have started off any worse with the Suns picking up that big win. I think the Mavericks kind of showed it's just going to be the Luka KP connection all year long. But Nuggets Trailblazers is pretty interesting. Nuggets played pretty bad, and yet they still beat the Blazers.
Well, I thought it was
came up with a quiet 20-13, and Blazers are still just trying to find that 3-and-D winning.
I thought it was pretty insane that the Nuggets, with Jokic had 3 fouls in 3 minutes, and they still found a way to win.
I know it's one game again, and we can't overreact, but we kind of got an idea of what Malone was looking to do. Didn't play either MPJ or Hernan Gomez, so it's going to be interesting to monitor that as the season goes on.
Yeah, and
that team is insanely deep.
Yeah, I was kind of amazed by that. Even though Lillard did have a good game though too for the Blazers, but the Nuggets still came out on top. Let's talk about some of the people that got extensions. Jaylen Brown got an extension, Buddy Hield, Siakam, and also Sabonis, who was actually in trade rumors. So Or were you gonna say something real quick, Johnny?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I kind of did a quick ranking of the 4 extensions. So for you guys that aren't aware, Buddy Hield re-signed with the Kings. What was it 4 years, $90 million, right?
Yeah, I think something. Like
there's
that.
incentives. Yeah.
Yep. Brown was a 4-year deal too, right? But he was like $103 million, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they all have incentives, but yeah.
Yeah, DeJounte Murray was a 4-year, $64 million with the Spurs, and then Sabonis was 4 years, $75 with the Pacers. Just a quick ranking from my favorite to my least favorite. I went the Murray deal was my favorite, the Hield deal was my second favorite, and I went Sabonis third and Brown fourth. I can't really justify the Brown one. It's just betting strictly on his upside, but they're putting a lot into him. I just love the Murray one. I consider it a win-win for both parties. Like the Spurs got him at a discount, and he still managed to get $16 million a year coming off of his injury. So I think that's just a great deal for both of them. And I think there's just something to be said about a player betting on a team's culture and his fit. And I think he's just perfect for the Spurs system.
Yeah, and I just thought, going back to the Sabonis one, I just thought that one was probably the most surprising, considering he was in a lot of trade rumors. So I'll ask you first, Pace. Do you think the Pacers should actually trade Sabonis, or do you think they should keep him on the team? Like, what do you think is best?
Well, the whole thing about him was, he played 6-man for us last season, so we really just wanted to see if he could pair up with Miles Turner. And in the first game versus the Pistons, he was able to do that. So, yeah, I mean, at least offensively he was. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's probably a good thing that we was a very good thing that we got the extension done, because now we have the option to trade him and then also to, obviously keep him. But as far as the trade, I'm definitely going to have to see more this season. This is really when I'm going to be able to tell. But yeah, by next season, I'll be able to tell if we should trade him or not. I made a whole video about it, whether we should re-sign or trade him. And it's probably the best option is probably just to play out the year and then, either trade him or not next season.
And it's hard. Sorry, my bad. You can.
No, go ahead. Yeah, I think it's just played out at this point, right? I mean, the management's just interested in seeing if there's any way that Turner and Sabonis can coexist. And if not, the contract is tradable. It's not a brutal deal. He's making good money, but he's very solid. As a number one big on a team, he's gonna give you a double-double. He's gonna give you 18 and 12. He's solid.
And I mean, it's kind of hard because a lot of the teams, we're just getting started in the season, and there's not a clear cut, obviously champion. So a lot of the teams that are probably gonna make the playoffs are just gonna hang on and stuff. They're not gonna want to try and make a move right now to mess up with anything. So that's why maybe teams like the Suns or the Hawks or something like that, they might make a move for him. But yeah, ultimately I think right now they should probably just wait.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this because I thought this was interesting. So Miami, they're getting ready for 2021 free agency, and I guess they're trying to target LeBron, Giannis, Kawhi, and PG-13. And I guess a report came out as well that they've been trying to trade Dion Waiters for over a year. So what do you guys make of all that news?
The Dion Waiters news, I guess, isn't surprising, but who's going to want to take on that kind? The only way you can trade him is
playing
if
him.
you attach some asset to him. And so I've seen rumors like Derrick Jones Jr. being attached to him. But it's not. It's do the Heat really want to give up an asset? Derrick Jones Jr. isn't a great player, but he still has some upside. So if they want to get rid of him, they're going to have to attach something like that. And in terms of free agency, what team isn't gearing up to go get a player get players like Leonard, Kawhi, Kawhi, Paul George, Giannis? Every team's doing that. But I think the thing that makes Miami different is that they actually feel like they have a chance of being in a big market.
And it's just interesting. Sorry, no, my bad. You can go.
I was just gonna say, Oladipo's also gotten a lot of rumors about going to Miami in free agency because he just hangs out in Miami in the off season all the time, and then for rehab and everything, he just spent his time over there. So yeah, I'm kind of nervous about that. You know, I hope it doesn't happen, but it's definitely possible. And he's also really good friends with Jimmy Butler, so yeah.
Well, I just thought the Miami news was interesting because, like, I mean, it wouldn't be too interesting, I guess, because everyone plans for this, but, like, with LeBron in there, like, do you guys think LeBron could leave the Lakers potentially at the end, like, go one more year in Miami? That would be really weird, but...
No, I think he plans on just retiring out here.
Yeah.
I think he's situated out there. It's gonna lead right into his business career post playing career. So I think he's just gonna stay there.
And speaking of Oladipo, that was actually our next topic. I guess it was reported that he was cleared for 5v5 half-court practice. So that's obviously a pretty good sign. I saw a report that said, I guess Kuzma isn't even doing, like, full contact, like 5-on-5 half-court practice. So, I mean, and a lot of people think Kuzma might be back really soon. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think Oladipo comes back really soon, or do you think still wait out?
I think because he is our franchise piece, we're definitely going to wait it out a little bit. So I think he'll be back in December, which isn't that long. But, you know, I expect Kuzma to probably be back before him. But, yeah, he's just too important to us to, you know, be playing around with injuries. So, yeah.
Yep. Agree.
Okay. This isn't too much. I mean, just Knicks players who are unhappy with preseason playing time. I mean, like, it's the Knicks. I feel like everyone's unhappy if they're not playing on the Knicks.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really read too much into it. I think Fizdale is a very good coach. It's also hard to get minutes when your team has, like, 8 power forwards on the team to distribute those minutes. I mean, let's look at what management did. They have no clue how to build a team. Not that really affects this whole preseason thing, but, I mean, they're all professionals. They got to figure this stuff out. If that's what the players are worried about, then that just shows where this franchise is at the moment.
Yeah.
They also just picked up another one.
Yeah, Ivan Rabb. I think it's a low risk, high upside move. But I mean, I feel like the Knicks GM just has like notification alerts set on his phone anytime a power forward becomes available.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
All right, now this is the article that I saw. It's an article by Neil Payne that uses like this RAPTOR metric, which is like kind of based off like plus minus, like win shares, whatever. And it's the best players over the last 6 years. Now this article is really messed up. I'm gonna say that it's really messed up. I'll go through the full list, and then you guys, because I don't know if you guys have seen this yet. Have you?
Is it on 538?
I'm not really sure.
I think. Is it over the last 40 years?
Over the last 6 years.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna list the top 20, and you guys can like react afterwards. So in order, like number 1, Steph Curry, 2, James Harden, 3, LeBron, 4, Chris Paul, 5, Draymond Green, 6, Kevin Durant, 7, Kawhi Leonard, 8, Kyle Lowry, 9, Paul George, 10, Russell Westbrook, 11, Jimmy Butler, 12, Damian Lillard, 13, Anthony Davis, 14, Kemba Walker, 15, Klay Thompson, 16, Kevin Love, 17, Nikola Jokic, 18, Giannis, 19, Kyrie Irving, 20, Danny Green. So,
where's Green?
20th.
Draymond Green?
Oh, Draymond, he's 5th.
Yeah, okay.
I think this just really shows
stats aren't everything.
Why you can't rely on analytics.
Yeah, you can't rely on like certain.
Why analytics give you in-depth pieces of, I guess, research you could say, but you can't just solely look at analytics. You need to factor in the eye test and actually just watching the player play, because you wouldn't, like, if you went to a pickup game, you would not say that Draymond Green's the 5th best player there, but because he does nothing wrong, because he basically played on one of the best teams ever, and all he's done is help that team win, like, he's going to show up as a better player than he actually is.
Yeah, and I mean, they literally said that the list was based off like plus minus and win shares, which both of that kind of ties in with your team. So, I mean, it's no surprise that like all the like the big four for the Warriors is all in like the top 15 on this list because like they've won like a ton of games over the last like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, like same thing with Kyle Lowry because like the Raptors have been a perennial playoff team. And Danny Green as well because like the Spurs have been a perennial playoff team, and then he was on it with the Raptors last year. So.
Wait, what? Danny Green was on there?
Yeah,
He was 20th.
Danny Green was 20th.
Yeah. Hey, but I know we talked about Kuzma coming. You guys can call me crazy, but I think Kyle Kuzma is a poor man's Danny Green.
Okay, you're crazy.
I think Kuzma is the most overrated player in the NBA.
I think he definitely is overrated.
A lot of people are kind of saying that though, he is overrated.
Like people think that Kuzma is just like exactly what the Lakers are missing. Like he's gonna be the third piece of the big three. Like Danny Green is a better player than him. Danny Green's a better shooter than him. Danny Green's a better defender than him. And Danny Green doesn't do anything wrong. Like Kuzma, I'll take Danny Green over Kyle Kuzma like any day of the week.
Well, that's why I was.
The Lakers just need a third player to just. You know what? Like Lou Williams for the Clippers. Like they need somebody like that. Like somebody just a spark plug off the bench.
Yeah, and that's why I was. I said that they never should have really traded Lonzo.
Is that it?
Wait, can you guys hear me?
Garrett?
Wait, can you guys hear me? Hello?
All right. Well, moving on. We have a couple other things. I don't know if you saw this pace, but. Steve Kerr in the news said it's unlikely that Klay Thompson plays this year. You have thoughts on that?
I don't expect him to play. If he does, it's definitely going to be towards the playoffs. But then again, you remember when Gordon Hayward was injured and everybody was trying to, get him back for the Celtics playoff run. So, and that didn't happen. So I just don't expect this to happen.
Yeah, I kind of like to say that it's always good to lean the way where you, at the beginning of the year, say he's not going to come back so that there's no pressure building up for him to come back. It's like, if he comes back, it's a bonus, but we didn't even expect him to play at all to begin with.
Can you guys hear me?
That's why I was pretty happy when KD, announced that he wasn't going to be back.
Yep. It's the whole thing. You just don't want to put pressure on the player. Make sure the player's healthy. So in that case, you always want to lean with assuming the player's not going to come back, and then if it does so happen that he's able to come back, then you just you let that happen without there being a lot of outside noise.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you guys hear me, or yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know because like I was talking and like it didn't like sound like you guys could hear me.
Yeah. We're actually on to the next part of the segment where we're going to be talking about the Warriors waiving Alfonzo McKinnie, and then the Cavs picked him up. So what are your thoughts on that, Garrett?
See, my thoughts on that is that the fact that the Warriors they don't have a small forward at all. So I don't really understand why they are going to like waive him, like I think they have like Glenn Robinson, like they might have Alec Burks play there some. So that's just like horrible in itself.
Yeah. And the reasoning behind the move was just that they wanted to keep Marquise Chris.
Yeah, I
with
saw
with Willie Cauley-Stein out to begin the year, they were impressed with Marquise Chris and his preseason performances. So that's just kind of why they leaned this way.
I would have got rid of. I mean, from what I saw, I would have got rid of Amari Spellman, honestly.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna bet on the long-term upside there. But I mean, the team outside of the big three, they're really lacking a lot of talent.
Okay. I just thought it was interesting though you went to the Cavs because like it almost reminds me of Patrick McCaw,
Yeah.
Like just like a forward that like unless he goes to the Raptors next, then that'd be like really creepy. But
it's just there's no risk associated with the Cavs pickup. I mean, if McKinnie turns out to be something special, then great. But it's not like they're losing anything by signing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. All I said on Twitter was like he's a decent shooter, and just everybody came up, trying to argue with me.
Yeah.
It's funny.
And then also, the Pistons waived Joe Johnson. I don't really know why. I mean, I feel like he'll be good for them for the playoffs, and now like they're just like leaving the door open for someone else to pick him up.
Yeah.
So I mean, in the playoffs, he'll definitely matter to a team. I guarantee you, he'll have like one game where like he looks like the old Joe Johnson.
Yeah. Similar reasoning behind them waiving him is that they could keep Christian Wood.
Yeah, and Kyrie Thomas, I believe his last name is.
Yeah, and I mean they already have 2 bench scorers in Derrick Rose and Luke Kennard, so everybody has been raving about Christian Wood and his effort. So we'll see if it pays off.
Yeah, we will see. I don't know if this is the order I have it, but let's talk about Giannis. Giannis came out with a quote. He said, he said something like this: if this team isn't successful, then it's gonna be like hard for me to resign. Like he said, it would be really difficult. So
I think that's. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, do you guys think? Well, one, do you think they will be successful in the next like few years until his like contract's up? And 2, do you think this is like a sign that he could leave?
Go ahead, Piss.
I don't really think that this really matters all that much. I feel like any superstar player should feel this way. And as far as the Bucks being worse, I mean they definitely lost Malcolm Brogdon. That's definitely the worst thing that happened to them in the offseason. But they got guys like Wesley Matthews, also the Lopez brother, who's gonna be their bench, their center in the bench. So I mean I don't think they're that much worse. In the actual season, they're probably gonna end up being a 1 or a 2 seed.
You good?
Sorry. And then hold up.
Nah, you're good.
I also think that in the actual playoffs, they're gonna be pretty all right. The only real thing is the shooting. What's his name? Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah.
He wasn't very good last playoffs, so I don't really know if he's gonna be able to do any better this playoffs. So yeah, and I think they're gonna be all right.
Yeah, I kind of just saw it as like applying pressure to Milwaukee's front office to make sure that they are surrounding the Bucks and Giannis with as much talent as possible, so that they can make it such a tough decision for him to leave.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's really hard with like how the league is today, where it's like a lot of people are just like switching teams back and forth. So like that's like the thing that makes me most inclined to say like he very well could leave. But I mean, I think in the next few years they'll probably make the finals at least once. I'm thinking maybe like they'll make it once and the Sixers will. So we'll see if that might be enough to keep him or if they win a championship or whatever. Next, and this might be the final thing we have before the last little segment. But MJ's quote on Steph Curry saying that he's not a Hall of Famer. Now, I know a lot of people said like he joked around and stuff like that. What do you think he was thinking, like when he said this? Like, do you think he was actually like joking around, or do you think?
For sure, sarcastic.
Yeah, he was definitely playing with stuff.
Sorry guys, but my clip just like completely stopped. But we have one more segment. We're gonna run through it quick before anything crazy happens. So it's our daily picks for every day. I randomly pick a game throughout each day of the week, and we go from like Friday, which is today for you guys, all the way to next Thursday. And I randomly pick a game, and let's start with Friday. Wizards Thunder. Who do you guys got?
Thunder.
I also have the Thunder. Saturday, we got Pelicans Rockets. Who you guys taking?
Definitely Pelicans.
I'll go with the Pels.
I'm actually also going with the Pelicans as a surprise. Sunday, Trailblazers Mavericks. Who do you guys got?
Trailblazers.
Blazers.
I also have Portland. They just lost the other day, so they'll probably win. Monday, Pacers Pistons. Who are you guys taking?
Pacers.
I'm going with the Pistons. So, all right, our first difference. Tuesday, Mavericks Nuggets. Who do you guys got?
I got the Nuggets.
Denver.
I also have Denver winning that one. Wednesday, we got the Bucks versus Celtics. Who do you guys got in that one?
Oh, I gotta go with Boston.
Bucks.
I'm also going with the Bucks. And Thursday, we got Miami versus Atlanta. So who will be taking that game?
Miami.
I got the Heat.
I got Atlanta winning that one. So not too many differences. I mean, who knows? It's regular season. Anything could happen. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Johnny, do you have anything to say real quick?
I think it was great. Thanks for joining, Pace. We had a great time, and can't wait to see what this week holds.
Nah, thanks for having me.
No problem. And guys, go follow Pace right now on Twitter. Go sub to him on YouTube. It should be in the description below. And then also do the same for Johnny. His stuff will be in the description below. But
cool.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Other than that, I think that's gonna do it. So
cool.
We're out. Peace.
Later, guys.